Like when I was very young, I loved to play mud monkeys, where my brothers and I would like get this dirt area full of water and would just like monkey around in the mud for hours and just get as dirty as we could. I was pretty reserved and quiet to the point where people thought there was something wrong with me. And I think over time I started to believe that there was something wrong with me. I was living on my own for the first time when I was still coming off of a whole teenage years of anorexia, depression, suicidal tendencies, just a lot of self-loathing. I started to attract situations and people into my life that were bad for me, that were taking me down the wrong track. When I was 19, I was date raped. Telling my parents about the rape and what had happened and that I was pregnant from it was really hard to tell my dad. And then they offered to raise it. And I knew I couldn't have that child. It was not the path I wanted to go down in my life. So choosing an abortion, against their desires and wishes was the hardest part. So in the aftermath of this experience, I felt very lost, very confused, very broken, but then a pregnancy and the emotional trauma on top of that. And I knew that if I didn't get right on a healing path and start getting my body and my mind and my emotion and my spirit attuned to truth and attuned to healing, that I would spend years in this lost and confused place. It spiraled into a lot of healing with body work, healing with breath work, myofascial release, polarity, craniosacral, yoga, Pilates, Qigong, doula work, plus Chinese medicine, acupuncture, craniosacral, herbology, and nutrition. I traveled around Southeast Asia. I studied with different masters of bodywork, of Taoist sexology, of Tantra. Just opened up this wholeness that was always inside of me. I think what kept me going is I have this innate drive, and it's pulled by spirit. It's like this connection to soul realm, which speaks very clearly to me. After Chinese medicine school, where it was like, okay, now's the time. If you don't start teaching this work in the world now, when are you gonna start? I really felt like there was this missing piece around using sexuality as medicine for your body, for your life, so that you can expand into who you've always dreamed you could be. I'm so passionate about helping people step into their sexual sovereignty, into their authentic truth around their sexuality. And so doing the somatic work and the sexual healing work and bringing pleasure through their bodies, it pushes out all the story, it pushes out all the I'm not worthy, it pushes out the places inside that are just still living in so much doubt. And it's just as effective when I'm doing sessions with people in different countries online as it is when I'm doing in-person sessions with people. I've spoken on summits, I've spoken on panels, I've been on stages speaking, I have taught retreats around the world. Sexuality is a really important part of your life. And when you sweep it under the rug for years on end, it takes a huge piece of you out of your life. Most people think sexuality is something that just happens. It should just be either on or off and show up in their lives. that if it's not good or if it's not on, then maybe they're with the wrong person. But what I know is true is you can create intimacy with anyone that you choose. And it's a skill, and there's a way to create that in your life. And what I know in my heart is it's such a worthy skill to learn. It's such a worthy practice to go down. It's such an incredible, powerful way to live in a human body. When I can understand someone and shine love on them, they can start to see themselves through a new lens, and that helps them to become more confident, to become more awakened, to not be afraid to express themselves, to not be afraid to feel pleasure in their bodies and in their lives, to not be afraid to try new things and to experiment with what's possible. And I want to live in a world where everyone feels that way, because that's what we're here to feel. We're physiologically built for it. We're made to feel that way. And so it makes me sad that we live in a world where so many don't. And I want to live in a world where everyone does, because it would just completely change the world. My deepest heart's desire is for people to really understand that they are worthy, to really eradicate that root of unworthiness inside of themselves so that they can start to play more fully and show up in more wholeness in their life and attract more easily the things and the people and the relationships and the opportunities that their hearts deeply desire. I feel like I've cracked the code, and I know the magic ticket on how to do that. If I could stand on top of the world with a bullhorn and everyone could hear me, what I would want to say is this: sex is medicine. Sex is powerful. It's a path to wholeness. It's a path to enlightenment. And my part in that is helping people awaken to the magic that sexuality really brings. I'm Dr. Willow Brown.